Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Very good morning to all of you. Okay,
Good morning, sir.
good morning. Good morning. Where are the other guys? Only 23 people are present. What about the others? Okay, so we will deal with that later. Okay. Okay, so as all of you know that in from the last week we have already started the discussion about data warehousing in our subject of data warehousing and data mining, where we discuss about data warehouses, various characteristics of data warehouse. Then we discuss about the difference between OLAP and OLTP system, okay, online analytical processing and online transaction processing system. That means the main difference between data warehouse and operational databases, right? Then we discussed about um, the various we have just started a discussion about the multidimensional data and what are the various schema or various model we can use for the multidimensional data, that we have just started discussion in the last week. Okay, and I also discussed about the the representation concept of data cube. Okay, because in multidimensional data cube plays a very important role, as I already discussed, where multidimensional data can be represented in an effectively and efficient manner. Okay, the storage of multidimensional data in an effective and efficient manner is a data cube, because the tables are not enough to store or to represent the data of more than 3-dimensional. So in last week I already shown you various representation of in various dimension of data, like 1-dimensional representation, 2-dimensional representation, 3-dimensional representation, and 4-dimensional representation, and how data cubes play the important role to represent those high dimensional data, like up to 4 dimension I have shown in last week. Okay, and I also shown the lattice structure. If you remember, I also shown the lattice structure, how the lattice structure is also important to represent high dimensional data, that means more than 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional data, where the table structure will fail you to represent that high dimensional data. So these are the discussions that I already completed in the last week. Today I want to continue with the discussion of those multi-dimensional model, which I have started as a discussion of the last week, that is the conceptual modeling of data warehousing, or what are the important models or important schema that will be useful to for the existing model to store multidimensional data in data warehousing, that we are going to discuss, okay, of today. That is the aim. And then from after completion of the discussion of all these models, then we can move into another discussion, that is concept hierarchies. What is concept hierarchies and how concept hierarchies influences the OLAP operations, that is online analytical processing operation, in any data warehouse system, that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. Okay, so if anyone has any doubt regarding the previous lectures or last week lectures, you can ask me. If you don't have any doubt, you can give me a response as well, then we can move forward for the new discussion. Okay, if anyone has any question, any doubt, you can ask me. I hope that all of you have already started to go through my the notes or the tutorials which I have already provided in the Google Classroom. I think all of you must go through it. After a couple of classes, I am going to provide also I'm going to provide some assignments, okay, some important assignments that you have to do it, scan it and submit it as per the deadline which I am providing in your Google Classroom. Okay, so everyone must I think everyone has already started to learn about the basics of the data warehouses and its architectures and its operations. Okay, so if anyone has any doubt, any question regarding the previous class lecture, you can definitely ask me. If anyone has any doubt, any question, you can ask me, or I can move forward. Please give me a response. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask me, or I can move forward.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you go through these slides once more?
This one. Which one?
Yes, sir.
Which one? What is the topic that you are feeling any difficulty?
Sir, can evolve large stars, this one,
Yes,
16,
yes, yes,
16.
yes, yes. That I'm going to start a discussion today, and then I'm going to clear all the concepts of various schemas that are useful for the data warehouse modeling. Okay. So shall I start up today's discussion? So last week I already started a discussion about this three schema model. I told that these three schema or these three models are actually the architectures of any multidimensional model that represents any data warehouse. So data warehouse are generally is actually supported multidimensional model, and each and every multidimensional model must follow any one of these schema, either star schema or snowflake schema or fast constellation schema. You can say that all these schema will give the backbone support of any multidimensional model in data warehouse. Okay, how to represent multidimensional data in a data warehouse, that will be given or supported by any one of these schema. So not all the schema are used in a data warehouse. Any data warehouse, as per the requirement, as per the usefulness, the data warehouse can use any one of these schema. And which schema is more suitable, which schema is more supportive for which type of applications, for which type of representation, that I am going to discuss one by one. Okay. So the entire schema is divided into three classes, or you can say broadly classified into three parts or three schema. One is star schema, another one is snowflake schema, and third one is fast constellation schema, and this is also called galaxy schema. This first constellation schema, the last one, is also called galaxy schema. Okay, why galaxy, that I will discuss. So just give you a reminder of this topic which I discussed in last week as a star schema. Star schema is nothing but a representation of multidimensional model. So if you remember, in last week I discussed about an example where I discussed about an electronic showroom for using data, for representing data in terms of cells. Okay, if you remember. So that electronic showrooms, in the electronic showrooms, I divided the entire data into 4 dimensions. First dimension is the location of the showrooms. Okay, where are the various locations of the showrooms are exist. Second dimension is the time. That means at which time what will be the total purchases, what will be the total profit, what will be the total sales. Okay, that will be decided. The time may be a per day basis, the time may be a weekly basis, the time may be a quarterly basis, or time may be a monthly basis or yearly basis. Okay, then third dimension we represents the item. That means item type. Okay, what are the item type, what are the item name. Okay, so these are the various the third dimension will represent various sort of attributes, and the fourth dimension will represent the supplier. Okay, if you remember the supplier type, supplier 1, supplier 2, supplier 3, in this way we have actually defined it. Okay, so based on the same example or same example, following the same example, we are going to I am trying to discuss about all these three schema. Okay, the same example I am going to take. So according to that electronics showroom, okay, the electronic sales showroom, if we represent the electronic sales showroom and is purchasing details or purchasing data in terms of star schema, how we are going to represent, that is the objective. Then we will come snowflake schema and fast constellation schema respectively. Okay, so star schema is generally consist of a single table, a central table, which is called a fact table. Okay, which is called a fact table, and fact table generally holds data with no redundancy. That means there is no redundancy, means no duplication of data presence in a fact table. That means whatever data the fact table will contains, all data should be a primary key in nature. And I think all of you have some idea about the primary key, because DBMS we have already learned primary key is something which, by the help of which we can represent any attribute uniquely. Okay, and we can differentiate that attribute uniquely from any other attribute. That is the primary key. So all the entries or all the data in a fact table should be a primary key, because fact table must contain a data with no redundancy. And in star schema, the central table will be only one fact table, which generally contains a bulk of data with no redundancy. Now there are some second type of representation or second type of tables in star schema, which is called dimension tables. Okay, so dimension table generally span around the fact tables. It may be more than one dimension table exists in a star schema. Okay, but fact table should be one, always one, or central table should be always one. Please remember it. But dimension table maybe exist multiple amount of dimension tables. Okay, as per the requirement of the sales organization, that dimension table has been divided, and that dimension table is actually spanning around the central table or the fact table. And dimension table contains data which may be present some sort of redundancy within it. That means there is no reduction or no redundancy concept exists in dimension table. Dimension table may contain some redundant amount of data. Okay, that is a star schema and overall star schema model, how it will look like. Now I'm going to show you the architecture of the star schema based on that electronics cells example. Okay, electronic cells organization example. So look at this example. I think you have remembered this one. This is a cells table which is considered as a central table or fact table. The name of the central table or fact table is a cells table. Okay, which will contain some data. Obviously, those data should be a no redundant format. That means the data should be a primary key of holding of each and individual dimension table. So all these tables are spanning around the cells table or the fact table are dimension tables. Like this organization has 4 dimensions. This cells has 4 dimensions: time dimension, item dimension, location dimension, and branch dimension. Here I have introduced a new dimension, that is branch dimension. Okay, so this entire fact table consists of or spanning around these 4 dimensions: time, item, location, branch. So these are the dimension tables. I already told the dimension table may have redundancy of data. That means may contain some redundant data, random information. Okay, so this timetable, if you see, this timetable has one unique key or primary key is called time key. So that primary key will maintain by the fact table or the central table, that is cells table. Okay, that is a time key. The first primary key or first data key of the cells fact table is the time key. Then the next data key of the cells fact table is the item key, which is nothing but a primary key of the item dimension table. Then third entry is the branch key, which is nothing but a primary key of the branch dimension table. And the fourth entry is the location key, which is nothing but a primary key of the location dimension table. So that's why all the entries into the fact tables or central table, which is a cells table here, are primary key or no redundant informations or no redundancy exists in the fact table. It supports the characteristics of the fact table. And fact table not only contains the primary key of all these dimension table or no redundant keys of all these dimension table, but also it contains the unit of measure. In last class, I told that each and every multidimensional warehouse representation must have a unit of measure. That unit of measure has the main responsibility to measure the total profit, loss, total purchases, total sales in a particular time span or particular time bound of a particular organization. So here, what are the measured units we will consider for this cells electronic cells table? Unit sold, that means how many number of unit sold in a particular time span, that will be counted. Then dollars sold, that means how many amount of dollars item has been purchased or sold by the customer, that will be counted. And then the average sale, that is nothing but a average definitions of all total sales of the sales table or fact table. So this fact table also contains the unit measures. Okay, the measures of units, right? And apart from the primary key, each and every dimension table has its own attributes like day of the week, month, quarter, year. In branch has branch attribute like branch name, branch type, apart from the primary key. The item dimension table has also item attributes like item name, item brand, type, supplier type. Okay, now the thing is that redundancy may exist, I already told, because look at this table, location table. Okay, I'm giving you one example of how redundancy maybe exists in a dimension table of location. Now in this location table, it may be possible that the different cities exist in a particular country, but their corresponding state and country will be the same name. That means the redundancy exists. As for example, what I'm trying to say, suppose the first city, suppose Kolkata is first city, where this organization has one branch. This electronic cells organization has one branch. Okay, so this location maintain the Kolkata city, right? So Kolkata city has which province or which state? West Bengal. And West Bengal has which sort of country? Under which sort of country? India, right? So the first location will be city name Kolkata, which has a state West Bengal, and second country is India. Okay, now suppose this organization's electronic cells organization has also one branch in Bardhaman city, Bardhaman or Bardhaman city. Okay, so Bardhaman is also a city under the state or province West Bengal and under the same country India. So there is a redundancy exists because within the same state and same country, more than one city may exist where the branches are generally located of the cells electronics. In this way, the redundancy may exist in a dimension table. Is it clear to understand? Do you understand what is star schema? This is all about the star schema. Do you understand what is star schema? Tell me. Anyone has any doubt? You can ask me. Is it clear to everyone? This is very important. Please, if you have anyone has any doubt, please ask me. Look, here I am just going to give you a how to define a star schemas. Okay, the definition, or you can say DDL, the data definition language. Obviously, here the data represent the multi-dimensional data. So you can say you can represent this name as MDDL, multi-dimensional definition language. Okay, so in that case, here I have defined that define cube cell star. Okay, so this cells, that means is a fact table which will be represented in the terms of cube. So data cube I have already discussed in the last class. I think it is clear to everyone. So data cube is nothing but a multi-dimensional representation of the cells data. Cells data is our fact table, and this fact table contains how many attributes or how many locations, time, item, branch location. Look at our example. This is a fact table which will contain how many dimension tables, item, location, time, and branch. The same thing has been represented here: time, item, branch, and locations. Okay, so this is the definition of the fact table, right? Now these are the two unit measures I have used here. One is dollar sold, and another one is unit sold. Average sales I didn't use here. You may insert the average sales here, but here for the sake of simplicity, I have used only two kind of measure: dollar sold and unit sold, which will be represented as a part of the fact table. Okay, so if you know these are fact table, these unit sold and dollar sold are represented as a part of the fact table, right? Now, in this way, the unit sold means the count function will be there. I think all of you have idea about the count function. Count is which type of functions? What is the name of the count function in your SQL? SQL ki bola hai count function ke? What is the special name has been given of the count function? Count, max, mean. What are the names? Sum function. What are these functions are called? Sum function, count function. Ki bola hai? Give me a response. What is the name of this SQL?
Sir, I think aggregate function.
Yes.
Aggregate function.
Yes, very good. Aggregate function or group function. It is also called a group function because it performs a grouping of the task. That means the sum means it will actually summing up all the total cells in terms of dollar. So grouping of all the total cells throughout a time band. That's why it's called a sum function or aggregate function and grouping function. Like in the same way, count means the total number of counts or total number of units sold in a particular time band has been represented by the help of units sold, or count function will do that job. Okay, that's why it's called group functions or aggregate functions. So this is the definition of the cells or fact table, the entire definition of the fact table. Now, after executing this line, this fact table schema has been virtually created in your SQL. Okay, now second job is to create all these dimension tables. Okay, 4 individual dimension tables. So that I have defined here, the defined dimension time. The first dimension table, time table, which has this number of attributes, which has been represented already in the figure. The second is the dimension table, is the item table, which has this number of attributes. The third dimension table is the branch table, which has this number of attributes. And the fourth dimension table is the location table, which has this number of attributes. So in this way, we can define a multi-dimensional data with the help of cube in case of with the help of star schema model. Do you understand? Is it clear to everyone? Tell me, is it clear to everyone? How
Yes,
we can
sir.
define it? Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So in future, we actually discuss with more kind of these queries in future. Okay, in some little bit complex queries, we're going to discuss in future how we can perform a joining between the tables and how we can normalize the table, that we are going to discuss in future. So this is all about star schema. The next type of schema is called snowflake schema. Snowflake schema. Let's try to understand what is snowflake schema. This is the second kind of schema. Now the thing is that snowflake schema. Let's let me clear it first. That the main difference between star schema and snowflake schema. What is the main difference between these two? Actually, snowflake schema is actually a higher variant of the star schema. Okay, or a new variant of a star schema, where it contains only one fact table, just like the star schema, only one fact table or central table with no redundancy of data, and all the dimension table it will contain. But the difference between snowflake schema and star schema exists here, that all the dimension table in snowflake schema must be in normalized form. Must be in normalized form. So if you remember your normalization concept in DBMS, when a table is not in normalized form, what you will do? Tumi ki korte? When a table is not in normalized form, what you will do? What will be your job? Ki chilo tomar job?
We will try to form it in normalized form.
Let it, please tell it more clearly. What will be the what you will do with that table? Suppose the table has redundancy. Yes, first normal form, second normal, there are several normal forms. Suppose the table is not present in any one of these normal form. Suppose the table is not present in second normal form or third normal form, then what you will do with that table? How it can be converted into a normalized form? That's I'm asking. What will be your job? Remember, you know it. I'm very sure that you know it. What will be your job? How we can make it normalize?
We will divide it into tables.
Very good. We will divide into tables, where each tables into sub tables, you can say, where each table contains a primary key within it. So why primary key? Because based on that primary key, we can rejoin the table and form the previous table again. So that joining may be a lossless join or lossy join. That will be different concept. That is not our concern. But if the table is not in normalized form, that means if the table contains any redundant values or does not support any sort of normal form, then we have to simply divide the table into subtables to make it normalized. The same concept is used here in Snowflake model. Look at the picture of the right hand side. The subtable gulo dawa ache, the item table and location table. These are the two tables, dimension tables. But I already told that star schema does not have the provision to maintain the dimension table as a normalized table. Okay, that means redundancy may exist into a dimension table in case of star schema. But snowflake schema, the main difference lies here. The snowflake schema should not contain any redundant dimension table. It must contain a table which does not have any redundancy. That means it contains, it may keep the dimension table into a normalized form. And how it may kept it into a normalized form? By dividing the table, the dimension table, if it is not normalized, by dividing the dimension table into more than one subtables. Look, the supplier key is again divided into one subtable to make it normalized. So that supplier dimension table is supplier subdimension table, which will contains two attributes. Supplier key is a primary key of that supplier dimension table and supplier type. In the same way, location, I already told the city is creating a problem, a dimension problem. In last example, I already told how it will create a redundant problem. Okay, so it was not normalized in location dimension table. That's why the city is again divided into another dimension table, which make it normalized by dividing into a sub dimension table, where city key is the primary key of the city table, and then the other attributes are city name, state name, and country name. Okay, so that is the major difference or main difference between the snowflake schema and star schema. So this will look like a snowflake. The shape of this table is the entire architecture schema will look like a snowflake. That's why it's called a snowflake schema. Is it understandable to everyone? বলো বুঝতে পারলে the difference between snowflake and star schema? Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Now I am asking you one question. According to you, which schema is more efficient and why? Or which schema is most popular and why? In between star schema and snowflake schema, give me the logical reason.
Sir, can you please repeat snowflake schema a bit?
Snowflake schema, the main difference between star schema and snowflake schema is nothing but a variant, an upper variant or higher variant of a star schema. So it will very much similar with the star schema, but it has a major difference is that in case of star schema, that all the dimension table may not be normalized in nature. That means the redundancy may exist in a dimension table in case of star schema. Okay, so in last example I told that the city has a problem of redundancy. That means the same city, the multiple city names exist under the same state and same country, so there is a chance of redundancy. But in case of snowflake schema, all the tables may kept in normalized form, all the dimension table may kept in normalized form. It should not have any sort of redundancy. So that's why we divide this dimension table into number of sub tables, because that is the logic of normalization. If you remember, to make a table normalized, what should we do? We divide the table into a more simpler form or normalized form. Okay, so the redundancy may not exist into that table. So then the same way this item table is divided into a normalized, more normalized form in with the help of supplier sub dimension table, and the same way the location table is divided into more normalized form with the help of city sub dimension table. এই দুটো টেবিলকে দেখানো হয়নি, it will show in these two tables. So this is called the major difference between snowflake schema and star schema. Now you tell me which schema, according to you, which schema is more popular or most widely used or should be used, and why?
Snowflake schema should be used
Why?
as there is less redundancy probability.
Yes, the first advantage, very good point you have catched, which I already told, that it does not support any sort of redundancy. So that's why for the normalized cases, to give a normalized efficient dimension table, we must use snowflake schema instead of star schema. But there is one disadvantage. Can anyone point out the disadvantage of snowflake schema over star schema? A snowflake schema over star schema?
So number of tables will be more in snowflake. Is it?
You are getting very closer. I need some more detailed answer. Can you explain in more detail? Then what is the disadvantage? If the number of tables is more, then what is the consequence of it? A problem of it?
Storage maybe.
Very good. It is actually
Yes.
create more storage, is occupy
It will-
more spaces. And second
It will take
disadvantage,
more time.
a
It will
time and
take more
storage.
time.
Okay. Resources are time and storage are coming simultaneously. It's not an issue. Time and storage both are same. It's coming simultaneously. And what is the second issue? Second problem regarding this?
Sir, for snowflake schema, the queries are also very
Yes.
complex.
Very good. For snowflake schema, the queries are very complex. Why? Because we have to perform a joining operations. The more number of division of the tables will create more complex query for performing more joining operations. That actually avoided in star schema, because star schema does not contain any sort of sub dimension table. Okay, because it actually avoids redundancy. Okay, avoid means it is overlook. It actually skip or overlook the redundancy. So that is the disadvantage of snowflake schema over star schema. But for this disadvantage, star schema is more popular than snowflake schema in terms of real life applications. Star schema is more popular than snowflake schema in terms of real life applications. Okay, where redundancy is not a very major issue or major concern. Okay, because the other advantages are too many in case of snowflake schema compared to star schema. So this is the definition of snowflake schema, okay, which I already mentioned. So this is very much similar with the star schema. This is only a definition. Okay, I am not applying any sort of other sort of language like manipulation language or how to do joining or how to do any other sort of operation. I didn't show it. I only show here the definition of the tables. Okay, how to define the table, how to define the schemas. So this is the definition of the fact table is equivalent to the star schema, which I already defined here. The similar thing is there. Okay, so instead of star, here we will write snowflake, and these are the various dimension tables. So if you look at it, so these are the 4-dimension table which define similar to the star schema. Now this dimension table is again subdivided into 2 more dimension tables. Okay, so the supplier table is again subdivided into 2 more dimensions. Look here, the again one first bracket has been given. Within a bracket, another bracket has been given. If you look at this thing, within a bracket, another bracket has been given. So this is a sub dimension table of the supplier, which will contain supplier key and supplier type. Look at the figure, supplier key and supplier type. So within that item attributes, within that item table attributes, there is one supplier table exists, which contains 2 more attributes, supplier key and supplier type. Okay, in the same way, within the location table attributes, within the city key attribute, there is one table exists, city, which has these 3 keys. Okay, look, the location table within which a city table exists. Within city sub-dimension table, there is a city key, city, province or state, and country. These 4 attributes exist. Do you understand? Is it clear to everyone? Anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
Is it crystal clear to everyone? It's very important. This schema, these models, the differences you should know in very well. Okay, you have to understand so you can remember in at any time. Okay, and one thing make it very clear to you that in today's world, whenever you are going to apply or appear for the recruitment process, okay, it may be any company. If you know the data warehousing and data mining, okay, with the aspect of machine learning and deep learning, you will definitely get a job, because each and every company are running with a wing of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Each and every company running, and they want that a fresher like you who wants to join, they have some idea regarding data warehousing, data mining, their modeling, about their various algorithms. You have some idea, and you will get an advantage over it. Okay, you must get an advantage over it. Only C, C++, Java nowadays has only learning this and to get a job of service job is obsolete nowadays. Okay, you have to know about data warehousing concepts, data mining concepts with the framework of machine learning design and algorithms. Okay, it's very, very important. Please remember. So try to learn this subject as smoothly as possible. Okay, if you have any problem, I'm always there with you. Okay. So these are the 2 models. So the session has only 1 minute time left, 1.5 minute time left. So if anyone has any doubt, we can. I'm here to answer you. If the session will time out, if you please log in into the same link, and we can go for the next session. Okay, according. So anyone has any doubt up to this model, these 2 models, star model and snowflake model, is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Very good. Now we will come into the 3rd kind of model, which is fast constellation model or galaxy schema model. Okay, fast constellation model, or some vendors are calling it as a galaxy schema. Why it is called galaxy schema? It is nothing but a collection of star schema model. That's why it's called galaxy schema. So fast constellation model or galaxy schema model is nothing but a collection of star schema model. Means it will contain multiple star schema within it. That's why it's called galaxy schema. Galaxy is what? Galaxy is nothing but a collection of stars. So that's why it's called galaxy schema. Okay. So from this point of view, we can say that multiple stars exist means multiple fact table exist or multiple central table exist. Then only it's possible to exist multiple star into a fast constellation model or into a galaxy schema model. So here in this figure, what you're watching in front of you, there are 2 central table or fact table exists. One table, the sales table, which